Mondays always are. It's going to be a back-to-back doubleheader. But the first matchup, the Lotus matchup, is going to be the more interesting one tonight. It's St. Clair Academy, the foes who thwarted their run last semester. However, we know what they did to them in the regular season. Yes. That was a bit of a massacre. If we go back to, I believe it was week 2, something like that.
Was it week 2?
No.
This guy does not know L-ball knowledge. It was
week 3.
Yeah,
see, I was pretty close.
Close enough.
A 3-1 victory.
3-1 victory. Going to the goals. Are these accurate? Do we know?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so 4-3 game 1, Mountaineer.
Yeah, it was within 1 goal every single game.
But I think was I on this cast?
Yes.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I do remember this being like, look at the scoreboard, it seems close. Look in the game, not close.
It was a bunch of garbage time goals for St. Clair Academy towards the end there, and I will tell you what, it was really, really good to see them, and that's really where they started their season. Yeah. And if you don't know, the Mountaineers coming in as the #1 seed after beating everyone that they did throughout the season, so super, super exciting stuff. And the great thing about this for the Plus, they only got to beat this team and then the next team. If the Mountaineers win tonight, they go straight to the finals, where they will more than likely face Shocker, who they were able to beat in the final week of the the second and final week of the season, in week number 6. And that win against Shocker actually secured them the #1 seat. It was in week 6, because I know that week number 7 was the game that was supposed to be against Akron.
Yes.
And again, another 3-1 victory.
Yeah. So going into this one, a little bit more actually of a, I mean, you could call it, I guess, a blowout. 3-1 in the first round going to WVU. Second round, definitely a bit of a slip. Yeah. Falling 2-0, not a single goal scored on that Lotus side, but then closing it out in game 3 and 4, winning both of those by one goal in game 3 and 2 goals in game 4, also with a shutout in game 4.
Yeah.
So
can't complain.
I mean, you're looking at this playoff scene. You're most likely, obviously, you are playing St. Clair today. Yeah. Like you said, most likely playing Shocker JV in the finals. If you make it there, you beat both teams already.
Look, I think that this is the Mountaineers' playoffs to lose. It is. Really, if you look at it, you hear this kind of pedestal team that has been in the East 1, and it's the Mountaineers by far. And if we are going to put a pin on a reason for that, it's Emma. It's Emma 100%. All the way. Emma has been playing absolutely out of her mind. You finally,
I know.
Yeah,
I feel good about myself. I'm not gonna lie.
But Emma's been playing absolutely out of her mind, and we always look back to that one interview with Gabe where she said, "No more losing,
no more losses."
And so far, that has happened. She's held true to that. So let's hope that stays. But obviously, I'm sure you can guess what the matchups are. But nonetheless, we're going to bring them up right now just to speak about it. This is the East 1 playoff picture. WVU Lotus taking on St. Clair Academy in this round, and then Wichita and UW Stout. UW Stout, a team we thought was actually going to be the pinnacle of this conference, but no, fell hard late in the season, and now looking like they will more than likely lose to Wichita State.
Yeah, I mean, most likely, like Shocker JV, kind of also Wichita State, same
yes,
team there.
Sorry, yeah.
Yes, a bit of a confusion. But this Wichita State team, I mean, they have a team that has kind of had a reverse UW Stout type of schedule where they just, in the end, just started swinging, just kept winning. For UW Stout, who just kept losing, kind of fell apart at the end of that season. But both teams still very good. I agree. I think Wichita State will come out on top and meet the WVU in the finals. But, I mean, anything can happen. Yeah, look,
I am predicting in this playoffs the Mountaineers are going to the finals and winning it all.
Yes.
I am just going to put that out there right now.
They're just straight.
If we're looking at how they have been playing, and not only playing, but dominating, there really hasn't been a reason for me to think that they lose.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing that we talk about so much in the NACE playoffs, especially with Valorant and Rocket League, is the longevity of it. How many weeks there are, how many matches they have to play before they get to the top of that mountain. It's 2 games. You're talking about locking in for 2 games. They've been doing it for 6 weeks. For Christ's sake.
They are locked in.
So if they are just able to continue that, I know that they had that week off last week for spring break, but a lot of schools did. There was not any NACE play, and now coming back in, they're going to have a target on their back.
Yes.
They are. It's just how it is, especially with this St. Clair team. If you were to ask me what I think the toughest rivalry is right now, it is WVU versus St. Clair in any game.
Yes.
Any game. You point out at esports, that, they're doing it.
100%.
And they're just battling back and forth. And in Rocket League, that could not
Extremely
be more
prevalent,
clear.
100%.
So these two teams, the two academy teams, just going back and forth, and now St. Clair's main roster getting the better of WVU in their last couple of meetings. So that's going to be a massive talking point later in the night after this at around 8 o'clock when we get to the Mountaineers' first matchup. But this Lotus team is going to have a lot to get through because this St. Clair team is not happy about how things ended the last time.
A bit of a angry hornet's nest on the St. Clair team, 100%. But they've taken care of business once. They do it again, like you said, straight to champs, straight to the finals.
Yeah.
And
I see no reason why Emma will not be the MVP of this game
100%.
once again.
Finals MVP, Emma,
we're probably going to see numerous goals, and if she can keep doing what she's doing, then there's absolutely nothing that can stop this roster. But before we get into talking about these players and what they need to do to succeed in the playoffs, we're going to hit it to a quick ad break. Remember, if you're subbed, you don't got to watch that. You don't got to be pestered with those annoying ads. So make sure to pop us with a subscription. If you have Amazon Prime, use your Prime sub on us. It greatly helps, and we will see you on the other side of this ad break. Welcome back, everybody, and we wanted to take some time just before this matchup to thank you all for joining us on the WVU Day of Giving live stream. It was a blast.
It really was.
I mean, it is genuinely one of my favorite times, and if you haven't seen our Twitter already, are you ready for the grand total?
Little drum roll.
We raised $7,550 across 53 gifts and gained 100 new subs here on Twitch with over 100,000 minutes watched.
Boom.
Insane.
Big
Insane
numbers.
stuff. And we can't thank our friends enough. A big shout out to John QT for our largest raid of the night. If you don't know, he's a Valorant pro, friends with our very own Guck 107.
Shout out.
So shout out to John QT. But that is such a wonderful day for everyone to see what this program does, see everyone all at once interacting. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but, you know, the players and the casters and the workers, like, we all know each other.
Yeah,
we all hang out.
Little community.
Like, me, I'll tell you right now, me and Excite, we go out all the time. Yeah, we have a good time. But it is wonderful that you all get to experience that, and we are so very, very thankful that you were so generous in your donation. So shout out to everyone who donated, and just shout out to everyone who watched, even if you didn't donate, even if you were just there to support through viewing and enjoying that time with us together. It was a wonderful time, and it means more than you know. And in case you were wondering how much we raised last year, do you know how much we raised last year?
I don't. I wasn't here.
We raised $1,460 last year.
7 times
against
there.
24 with 24 gifts. So not only did we double our gift amount, but we 7x'd essentially our dollar total, and we I think it was right around the 10 to 12x our minutes watched.
Yeah. So
gained 50. I think it was about 50 new subs. Sorry. I actually don't know how many subs it was last semester, but it was more
this year.
It was more.
That's what matters.
So it was a wonderful time, and hey, start marking down your calendars. 360 something days until the next one, so it's going to be a good
it's
time.
On my calendar. I'm pumped. I'll tell you what.
I'm
ready.
Here. But let's go back into this competitive mode and talk about what needs to happen tonight for the Mountaineers to come out on top. And my key to success here is going to be let Emma do her thing.
Yeah, let Emma do what Emma does.
Yeah.
Simply stated. I mean, we've seen time and time again, when that happens, the Mountaineers win. Another thing I would say is not succeeding goals in that first 30-second, 45-second window
After
where you see or also just keeping a lead. A lot of times we'll see the Mountaineers go up one and then kind of like play back, sit back a little bit, and then now you're tied up again.
Yeah. It really, I think you hit the nail on the head there, not succeeding those goals in that first 10 to 20 seconds after they score a goal.
Yes.
You know, so we see that so very often. They get a crazy goal. You think the momentum's in their favor, and then they lose a kickoff goal.
Back,
you know, and they have been getting better and better and better at not doing that. And I really, really want to see them maintain that as we continue
100%.
into playoffs. And I think that we should. And again, this is going back to last season issues, but keeping the open goals down. We have not seen that nearly as much this semester, and I don't foresee it being a massive issue. But again, that does tie into not succeeding those goals after you go up, is keeping that to a minimum, keeping that defense nice and tight, and it has been very recently.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we saw I wouldn't say a huge increase, but definitely an increase from the beginning of the season. Those open goals, I think, were still prevalent from that last semester. They're trickling over a little bit, but I think they've been contained. They've been thrown overboard, and I think now going to playoffs, looking strong.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember, because if you remember back to the beginning of the season, Lotus started the season 0-1.
Yes, the opening was not good.
You know, against Ole Miss Red, that we were like, oh my gosh, this is not going to be good, but it doesn't matter because they ended 6-1, and it is time for playoffs. We are getting into the game. Players getting into the lobby. Good gracious, I'm so ready to kick off this NACE playoffs because we got COD on Wednesday. Valorant is currently getting ready to play in CVAL upper finals against Cumberland Phoenix, so that's going to be a crazy matchup. We'll be keeping you updated on that throughout the later stream tonight, and it's going to be a good time. But nonetheless, here we go. The countdown begins, and the kickoff ensues. Mountaineers, St. Clair Academy, and already a demo on the Yak, and Spoods opening it up for St. Clair. What an early one there due to a fortunate demo onto Jacoby.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Those first 30 seconds, those kickoff goals. Yep. You don't want to start in a trench like this. I mean, 3 seconds in, you're already down a goal.
Yeah, and you'll notice that Ramen in for St. Clair Academy. That is a new player compared to the last time the Mountaineers saw that. And the Mountaineers with a nice offensive strike there, but it's not going to do anything here with the bump. The St. Clair Academy wanted a 50, did not get it, and a nice clear there by Emma. And now Kipper streaking down the left side, going to get the re-attack here, but not before the Mountaineers collide into each other. A bit of a miscommunication there, but coming in over the top, Hira Ramen with a nice save, clears it over. Spoods over the top, gets the angle, just nearly misses, but that's going to keep the ball on the Mountaineer side of the pitch, and an angle there doesn't do anything. Full court, just a little bit to the right. Who has the follow-up for the Mountaineers? It's not going to be anyone. Hira getting back now on defense. I believe that was Jacoby. Yes, it was. Ramen up in the air, trying to get an angle, and oh, it is teetering on the edge, but the Mountaineers are going to clear it. No problem. Yak now in a different car. Usually we see him on the, oh goodness gracious.
Octane?
Yes, usually see him on the Octane, but not anymore. And now Mountaineers need to get something going offensively. After that first goal, it's been quite back and forth here. Both ways, both teams having strong glimpses of offense, but they're going to need to do something here. Kipper with a nice pass, but there's no follow-up thanks to a bump on the defense by the Mountaineers. Ramen has a shot, passes it, it's up in the air. This St. Clair team is firing on all cylinders. Kipper with the center. There's not going to be a follow-up, and the Mountaineers are going to take it, and look at that. A nice little fadeaway by Ramen, sends it back into the left. And now Hira up in the air is going to try and center it for the Mountaineers to get a little bit of production on offense, but Kipper is just streaking down. That ball's going to go skyward, and it's going to stay in the center a bit. You'd think it's just like the kickoff, but now Spoods up in the air, has a dribble. And no, Hira gets it. Oh, that's a nice shot, but a little bit high, and Ramen on the re-attack. St. Clair Academy goes up 2-0.
St. Clair Academy right now looking absolutely perfect on this offense. I mean, we're seeing time and time again, good look after good look, and eventually one's going to fall through, and it does there. I mean, basically 2 good looks, one of them a little high, second one right on target, and now down 2 already in this first game. Time still available. Got a lot of time on your hands here, but you have to start playing a little bit more maybe safe. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I mean, they're getting so many good looks.
Absolutely, and you'd like to see a bit of aggression from the Mountaineers, but the problem with aggression is you're more likely to make mistakes, and at this point, down 2-0, you don't want to make any of those mistakes as Jacoby tries to get something going in that corner there, and it's just not going to come to fruition. The St. Clair Academy seems to have taken the 5 weeks since they have last seen the Mountaineers and really used them to their advantage, as that's a beautiful goal from Spoods and a beautiful pass from Ramen. Take a look at this, folks. Perfectly centered and just off the back right wheel.
Yeah, beautiful shot there. I mean, St. Clair offense right now, just like you said earlier, firing on all cylinders, and it continues to right now. 2 minutes left. I mean, at this point, Mountaineers maybe just looking to just find something that's going to work, and another goal going to find its way in to go down 4. The Mountaineers might kind of tuck this game away, and hopefully just
it could be a little bit of a GG go next scenario. The Mountaineers not opening this up how they wanted to at all. This is not looking good so far, but that's why this is a 1st to 3. The Mountaineers with plenty of opportunities still left, but they have to chalk this one up to some first match jitters. And now
hope so.
It's just 2 minutes for the Mountaineers to score four goals. Not impossible in any sense, but it might just be now as Ramen gets, I mean, that's just about as free as a goal as you're going to get. Jacoby just essentially handing it to him.
Yeah, a bit of a free handout there from Jacoby.
Oh, sorry, it's Hira.
Yes. It was indeed Hira. Hira being a little charitable. Nice. But, I mean, coming in here now, I think this is a GG go next. 2 minutes left, down 5 goals. Maybe the Mountaineers are looking to give up 10 goals here and maybe have St. Clair relax a little bit and come out swinging in that second game. But, I mean, if we're going to see anything even similar to this in this series, it's going to be over fast.
Yeah, you would not like to see the Mountaineers get completely shut out in game one, but it's looking more and more likely as we continue on. 1:30 remaining. And now it is time for the Mountaineers to kick it into high gear. Even if they just score 1 or 2 pity points, you do not want to get completely shut out in this finals. A nice bump there from Yak, but a better clear by Ramen. And now the Mountaineers just looking for something, and that's going to go in. Ramen with a hat trick there. 3 goals on 5 shots. Absolutely insane performance from the newcomer.
Yeah, St. Clair currently, about as efficient as they can get. Good look after good look. 6 goals. This is not how I think anybody was expecting this to start out. Obviously, St. Clair, like you said, taking those 5 weeks, they watched some film, took some notes, kept it classy, and it's showing here.
Absolutely, and the Mountaineers are certainly chalked for this one, and they're looking forward to game number 2. 1 minute remaining as that clock ticks down, and Spoods not giving up any ground despite the cataclysmic lead of St. Clair right now. 6-0, an absolute insane number. And now the Mountaineers just trying to get something going. Here has a shot, but it's going to be blocked by Kipper. And now the follow-up from Yak, not going to go anywhere. Kipper clears it, but it looks like it might be Hira on the right side off that middle wall, but it's going to be cleared. Once again, I believe that was Ramen. And now a shot on goal, but 3 members of the St. Clair Academy converge onto the ball. A demo onto Kipper. Spoods has a shot. It's going to be cleared by Hira. 20 seconds remaining. The Mountaineers just living to not get shut out at this point, and St. Clair looking to just dig the knife deeper. And it's that countdown reaches 10. Mountaineers make one final push, but that is going to be it for this game number 1, and not how the Mountaineers wanted this to start whatsoever.
No, oh no. Well, a horrible start just to get a little bit more horribler. I don't think it's a word, but we're going to say it here. 7-0 in this first round. I mean, that is that's a lot of goals here, Colin. That's a big number.
Well, let's hope that it's the only goals they score. Perhaps they, usually over a best-of-5 match, you might score 7 goals across the whole thing. So maybe they just condensed it into this game.
Yeah, so maybe they're out of gas now.
Exactly.
They have no money to get gas. It's over. Now we just clean it up. Next 3.
Simple as that.
Maybe give them a little hope in the first game, and then just clean it up. Do what you do.
You have to hope that's the reasoning here. Jacoby with an astonishing 55 touches. And look at that. I mean, the shots just are not there for the Mountaineers. 2-2-3 combined. It is just not looking great. You have 2 players to 1. Ramen, obviously the MVP there. Just outstanding performance. 3 goals, 2 assists. So even on the other 4 goals that he wasn't the main kicker on, he's half
touches.
of them.
He's
getting
there.
the touches. But now game number 2, Mountaineers need to get something going if they want to avoid that. And that is exactly how you want to start. Jacoby off the left wall. Look at this.
Yeah, this is exactly what St. Clair did the first game, where you saw that kickoff goal immediately. What an angle coming in there. I mean, beautiful. This is exactly how
he busted out the protractor for that one.
Oh, yeah, most certainly. Got the protractor out, got the angles down,
and
kicked it on in.
The Mountaineers have the opportunity to extend this lead once again, perhaps do what St. Clair did. And now, that was an unfortunate 50 loss for the Mountaineers. Kipper off the other side, but here is able to clear it just in time. Spoods sends it back. There's no follow-up there, really. Ramen wanted a late one there, but it's not going to find it. His noodles got cold. And now the Mountaineers on defense. Ramen with the angle, but Hero with the bump to defeat it. And now Jacoby trying to get the ball, but he's so heavily contested. Now over the top. The goal is there, but no. A beautiful block by Ramen. Kipper now with the angle. But look at that. The Kipper and I believe that was Spoods ran into each other.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication there. Kind of playing defense on your on the enemy goal there. I don't know exactly what that was. Maybe both people just wanted that goal. They're getting a little goal hungry at this point. You get 7 in that first game, and now you're just you want more, I guess you could say. But
your greed sickens me,
your
you could
greed
say.
sickens it. Oh,
and
my goodness.
Now Spoods wins the 50, but Hira gets the better of it in the end. A shot on goal. Emma off the nose of Ramen. Mountaineers extend that lead to 2.
This is exactly what we're talking about. You just kind of, all right, guys, GG go next in the first game, come in the second game, come out swinging, which they do, and now going up another goal Emma doing what Emma does.
Absolutely, and let's hope the Mountaineers can keep this up because despite the good looks, we've seen them lose it before. So let's see if they're able to do it here. And a little bit of a fake drop there by Ramen, but the Mountaineers ready for it. Nonetheless, not falling for it. Kipper with a nice touch there, but Hira comes in and just dismantles it. And now a little bit of a standstill here in the corner as it's going to be Emma with the ball, but nothing to come from it. Yak trying to get a better touch to clear it. And look at that, the boost relatively used up on the side of St. Clair Academy. Ramen, the only one with it. Kipper. Now, and look at that, a 50 sends that ball skyward. And you need to understand how important this lead is for the Mountaineers because we see them score the goals and then we see them lose the goals right after. So being able to score 2 goals without getting scored on is massively important in the grand scheme of things. And look at that, that's a double demo, and this is essentially going to be a free goal. Spoots showing off that technical prowess.
Yeah, a little showboat at the end there, just showing off. Look what I can do, guys. Look at me. Almost a save, trying his best at the end there. I believe
Hira.
Was that Hira? That was
Hira.
indeed Hira. Yeah, trying her best, just trying to get in there last second. Almost got the pinch, but a little bit too late. But still, a 1-goal lead still.
And that is exactly why my point stands, is the Mountaineers, if they were to have given up a goal, gone back and forth, this game would be tied at this point. But the Mountaineers still maintain the lead as we are just about to hit the halfway point, and now an air battle, a little bit of a dogfight, you could say, in the air between, I believe it was Emma and Kipper. Emma's going to come out on top, and a demo onto Emma now. Spoods trying to get a bump, and he will. Wow, what a crazy, and look at
Get
that.
a little physical here.
Wow, that ball was flying after Hira pinched it between the ground, and now Ramen is going to get it stolen. The Mountaineers have a good opportunity here if they're just able to find the steal, but no, the bump is not going to do anything for them. Jacoby sends it skyward. Does he have the angle? No. A beautiful block there by St. Clair Academy. Not quite sure who it was, but the Mountaineers still on offense. Hold on. Oh, so very close, but it just clips the bottom right of that goal. And now Jacoby, follow up. No, the block, a beautiful block, and now that ball goes back over to the Mountaineer side, and just like that, the offense switches, and once again, Mountaineers looking for a shot, and no, that's going to be a double block there by St. Clair Academy, but the reshot by Hira once again blocked back and forth. It feels like this ball has been shared so much between these two teams, and now Hira looking to continue this offensive strike from the Mountaineers. It's been shot after shot, but nothing coming from it. Mountaineers still maintaining the lead just by a slim margin. 1 goal with a minute left. Let's see if the Mountaineers are able to hold on. It's been absolute chaos for the last minute and a half. But Jacoby puts a period on it and says, let's put our ducks in a row.
1 minute left. Jacoby hoping to tie the knot. Let's see if it can happen, though. 2 goals lead. You mentioned this earlier, time and time again. You get the lead. Can they hold on? This kickoff's going to be huge. See if it goes their way. So far, so good.
And now the Mountaineers just have 1 minute standing between them and a tie of these games. And let's see if they're able to do it, and that will certainly help. Hira putting what could be the dagger into the back of St. Clair's goal.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a bit of a dagger there. Now going up 3 with a minute left. Should be done. Should. Emphasis on the should there. But, I mean, we're going to see if Mountaineers go ahead and finish this even 4-1, maybe 5-1, 4-2, whatever it may be. A dominating win, which is impressive coming off a 7-0 loss.
Seeing the Mountaineers score 4 goals whilst only letting up 1 for the first 4 and nearly a half minutes here after getting blown out 7-0 is very, very comforting to me, and it should be comforting to all you at home, seeing that resilience has not been lost on them in this break. Hira looking for another one, and it looks like there's going to be a follow-up, but a nice block there by Kipper. And the Mountaineers, with now 18 seconds left, we can officially call this one. The Mountaineers are going to tie this up 1-1. Jacoby looking for another one. And a nice shot there. 8 seconds left. Is there anyone in goal? No, it doesn't matter. That shot just a little bit to the left And now that clock ticks down. That could be from downtown.
Way downtown.
Way downtown. I don't
Way.
even know where the last time he hit that was. Yeah, look at that. Behind the half line. And it just soars in.
Shot there.
Not enough boost for Ramen, and the Mountaineers are going to take this one 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful performance here from the Mountaineers. Like you said, especially with the contact of the last game involved as well. I mean, it is comforting to see a team like this, you know, who has, if I'm being honest, been on a high for a long time, to come in, kind of get stomped out in that first game, and just come right back.
However, if we're looking at the shots, that's 5 goals for 14 shots. You'd like to see a little bit more efficiency there, but nonetheless.
That defense was great,
Yeah,
though.
the Mountaineers, look at the saves, 3-3-2 on either side.
23 touches only from Emma.
Yeah.
Still with a goal, but that is surprising how low that is.
Yeah. But it looks like it was actually a hat trick from Jacobi. I didn't even catch that at the end there.
Yeah, crazy performance.
So Mountaineers now tie this up and send this to game number 3 and could take the lead here possibly if they're able to recreate that performance in game number 2. Let's see how they open it up. Almost started the exact same way with a little bit of an angle shot from the left corner, but that time it is stopped. Perhaps St. Clair learned a thing or two. Call them farmers because they've seen a thing or two. And now Kipper on the left side. Spoods with the follow-up, but that ball is going to stay stagnant in that left corner. There goes the clear, but there's no one really for St. Clair Academy for the center. And once again, now even for Ramen shot. Oh, a nice clear there. I believe that was Emma, but Spoods says, we're not done yet. Here's the angle. Who's got the follow-up? It doesn't matter. That's going to be Emma's car sandwiched in between the ball and the net. And the Mountaineers still playing outstanding defense.
Yeah, I mean, Emma just kind of palming that ball, just straight rejection right there. I mean, beautiful defense for sure. A minute in already. Spoods trying to make it work. A little flashiness, not going to go his way, though. Force it back up, get some more boost.
And now the Mountaineers trying to get some offensive production, sending that ball skyward. We saw Yak with a little bit of a moon ball for the last goal on the last game, but this is going to be the longest amount of time. I almost ate my words there. That we've gone without a goal, and I will eat my words though. But that is the longest amount of time we've gone without an opening goal. The first 2 games started off relatively, within the first 5 to 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But now eating a minute and 16 off that clock is going to do numbers for St. Clair. Mountaineers 3 minutes 44 seconds to work with. Absolutely a gargantuan amount of time considering that they were down 5 goals with just a minute left in the first game. But St. Clair Academy looking to open up this bag of tricks and extend that lead to 2 before the Mountaineers can respond. But we know the Mountaineers have offensive production. They did it in game number 2. You would like to see that come out of them now. And if they can, you'd like to see them do it sooner rather than later. And as the shot goes there, it's going to be a little high into the left. And Yak looking for another one. The center, Hira, not able to follow up efficiently enough. Emma having to play some outside defense, but it's going to be Yak actually playing defense on the goal with a nice block there. And the Mountaineers converge on the ball. Yak and Emma both clearing that, but it's not going to be enough as we're going to see Ramen with the center. There's not going to be a follow-up. Hira now sending that to the St. Clair side and gets it. If there's a follow-up there, there's not. There was no one there. That was a beautiful center from the Mountaineers. And now we are officially just at that halfway point and still a relatively low-scoring affair considering what we saw in the first 2 games. It was, what?
Goal after goal. 7-0.
Yeah, 13 points respectively for both teams. And look at this. Are they able to get there in time? Hira just barely by the skin of her teeth gets there. And now Mountaineers need to find something that is not going to help Spoods on that bottom right corner. Such a popular location for him today.
Was that, I believe, if the information is correct, was that a double demolition from WVU? It was WVU.
I don't believe so.
Oh, it was the goal. I looked at the top. I was like, wow, was that really a double still scored? I'm impressed. No. But, I mean, this is a completely different game so far from game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, 13 goals total?
Correct.
Yeah, so that is, I mean, that's wild. Actually, no, 14. 5-1, 7-0 total.
Okay, so 6 plus 7 is 13.
Yeah, and then plus the 1, 14.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, the Mountaineers won 5-1.
Yeah.
So that's 6 total goals.
Uh-huh.
The first game was 7-0 as Kipper scores again there.
Well, there we are, 3-0. Wait, I know it was 5-1.
Yeah, which
Second
is
game,
which is 6.
And then we
Plus 7 is 13.
I thought it was. I don't know why I was thinking 8 on the first one.
Apologies for my co-host's math there. As the Mountaineers now in a dire situation. I'm never gonna let you live that one.
No,
down.
I was.
St.
I was
Clair
dying.
Academy up to 3, and I believe that's a little bit of a. Did Ramen score?
I really couldn't tell you. I was kind of mathing in my head.
I believe that's going to be a bit of a team ace there, one apiece. And the Mountaineers, look, a minute 30. It's not impossible for them here, but they need to get something going now. Oh, no, that's going to be a double for Spoods, pardon me.
Yeah, Ramen with nothing.
The Mountaineers need to get something going before that clock hits that minute mark, and right now it's not looking great as that is a beautiful angle given by St. Clair Academy, and it's just so interesting because we've seen just complete domination from both teams, and it just seems to be completely dependent on what game they're in.
I mean, yeah, it's been like a bipolar type of games here. I mean, first game 7-0, second game 5-1, and now 3-0. Looking to make it 3-1. Emma, can't do much there. But,
No
I mean,
follow-up.
45 seconds left. It was possible earlier, but with the time ticking down, the probability is going down with each second. So, I mean, at this point, might be looking at a 2-1 series lead for St. Clair Academy.
Jacoby gonna stop the bleeding just a little bit.
Put a little
33
Band-Aid.
seconds. Here's the thing. You get a kickoff goal right here, and all of a sudden, it's possible. But
Yeah.
the Mountaineers need a miracle here to tie this one up, and I don't really think the lead is possible. So best case scenario for game
Little
number
OT.
3 is looking like some OT, and that's not exactly how you wanted that kickoff to go. It's just
Yeah.
30 seconds remaining. Mountaineers need to clear that. That's going to be a good one, though. Hold on.
Hold on, wait a minute.
3-1.
Are you saying there's a
A
chance?
3 goal there as St. Clair Academy completely overcommitted. And Ramen just missed that. There's
Yes,
no
and a
two ways
swing
around
and a
it.
miss.
And now, just like that, 22 seconds, Mountaineers have a chance. Don't call it a comeback, but the Mountaineers still need to score one more goal. Hira, on the right side, let's see if she's able to get a good center, and it looks like a bit of a miss there. Ramen's going to send it up. That's not exactly what they wanted to do. Lost a bit of control. 9 seconds. Mountaineers need to score right now. Keep the ball in the air. 4-3. That ball's going to stay in the air. Oh, I thought it was going to hit the glass. Very close there.
Very close.
And
indeed.
all of a sudden, that game becomes not so one-sided.
Yes, 100%. And you get a little momentum going into this game 4, which I think is honestly huge, because if you lose another one, it's over.
Yeah, Mountaineers need to. I mean, you have to win 2 in a row. It's as simple as
do.
that. There is not much more you can say. And now the Mountaineers fighting for their playoff life, and it would be a shame if they are dropped in once again to St. Clair Academy in the playoffs.
Yeah, it would be a little bit of deja vu, for sure.
It would be.
And especially, like we mentioned earlier, this is their playoffs to lose. We've seen them dominate all the regular season, except for that opener, which, you know, it was a little hiccup, you know, round 1 jitters type thing. But, I mean, if I'm being honest, St. Clair is coming out as a completely different team right now. They are playing out of their minds. First time we saw them in the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't really say it better myself. And now look at that.
Ooh,
oh,
what a save.
Nice save there by the Mountaineers.
What a
Wow,
nice save.
that was a close one.
Was indeed, but now going into this, I mean, they need to play. I don't think they play more aggressive here. I think we're seeing a lot of good shots coming in, but this St. Clair defense is just absolutely stellar. I mean, it's just locked down perimeter defense. You can't even get anything going, and when you do, it's 2 defenders right there to catch it.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate. And now, once again, we're seeing a lot of nothing happening in this first minutes here. But the Mountaineers trying to stay alive as that offense goes. And now, hold on. There's a chance. A shot goes high. Hero with the follow-up.
Push it.
Oh, just a little
No.
bit to the left. So unfortunate. And now Yak having to play some defense that's not the bounce he wanted that ball to take, Emma. switching over cars to the phase octane. And now Jacoby up in the middle. Who's got it? It's going to be Hira sending it back. And, a nice demo onto Kipper. But that's unfortunate because the ball was heading over towards the Mountaineer side of the pitch anyway. Spoods with a nice touch there from the sky. And now going back immediately playing defense. And now this is officially the longest that it's been without a goal, as that clock is about to hit the two-minute range. And it will. Kipper, nice touch there. No follow-up, though. And now that ball rolling. Spood's going to be there. Surely they weren't about to give that one up. And a nice center. Spood's wanted that goal badly there. And now, hold on, it's an open goal! Takes advantage. The overcommit by St. Clair. And just like that, Mountaineers have a lead, but they need to hold on to it.
Yeah, Yak just kind of chucking that thing across the pitch here, able to capitalize on that, finding the first goal. Very similar to the third game here. I mean, very similar script. We have a very slow, methodical first half. One team opens up with a goal, and hopefully it can be similar to the third game where that team that does open with the goal ends up winning it all. Send us to a Game 5, win or go home, which would be quite the entertaining thing to watch. Play that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Mountaineers, really, this could just be a game of time. If they're able to keep what they did in the first half of this game right here, then they'd send it to a Game 5 giga-banger. But that could be looking like he wants to just give a bit of padding, which I do not blame him for.
Get a little mattress pad.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it.
That was very, very close.
Very scary there, but holding on by a fingernail right now. Like you said, they can just maintain this lead. I mean, I know it's only one goal, and you'd probably be a little more comfortable with two, but you gotta do with what you have. Minute 45 now to just try to hang on. Emma soaring through the sky. You have a little skin switch coming in. Maybe a good luck charm.
Yeah, possibly, but the Mountaineers still, here's the thing, even if they win this one, they have to win another one, and it is looking harder and harder by the minute. St. Clair's offense has just been so good today, but the Mountaineers are surviving, but they're doing just that, surviving, and look at that. That hit right. Oh, that was a nice shot there, but blocked. Nonetheless, Kipper sends it back. No follow-up from Ramen there. That's going to be a steal by Yak. And Yak putting a lot of pressure on himself and getting a lot of production. Oh! That shot just to the left. Another shot off the post. And this is just back and forth. And now a minute remaining. The Mountaineers looking to get another goal once again to just kind of give them some cushion, some breath of fresh air, but it doesn't look like one will come. You might need to hook them up to an oxygen machine because this one is getting intense. Emma off the top row. A nice flip there by St. Clair. 40 seconds remaining. And I know it doesn't sound like it, but the Mountaineers are currently winning this game. And now Spoods up in the air. Hira just trying to keep it on the St. Clair side. It's going to be a nice center. Who has the follow-up? It's not going to be anywhere close. Jacoby gives it. And just like that, the Mountaineers up 2-0. And you can breathe a little bit.
Deep breath out right there. I mean,
shake off the hands off the controller.
Wipe them down on the pants.
Wipe them down. And just survive 22 more seconds.
22 seconds, not not okay. I got a little scared there. I'm not gonna lie. Not this. Hate when this happens.
Yeah,
but
and now, as that clock hits the 10 countdown, you have to imagine that this one is all but over as the Mountaineers maintain control, and we are gonna see game 5
giga banger.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely insane in here. Just to top it off.
A little cherry.
Yeah, a little cherry on top, but the Mountaineers still have one more game to go.
Every single game in this series has been a dominating show. I mean, once again here,
game number 3, 3-2.
That is true. That game, okay, but that was like I would say for the first 4 minutes, very dominating.
Yes.
But definitely a crawl back in that last minute.
For sure.
So I would not call it a blowout. That is very true. But, I mean, this one, it didn't feel like a blowout. I was nervous the entire time. But looking at the scoreboard, 3-0, definitely seems like one. But my goodness, I was nervous.
Yeah, Yak, once again, with the MVP, you have to give it to him. Yak has been fairly quiet all season, still playing wonderfully.
Yeah, playing well, but it's kind of playing.
But on the backstretch of Emma, and now just like that in the playoffs, coming out like
Playoff
Prime
Yak.
James.
Yeah, playoff
You
Yak.
know,
Just
playoff
coming on
Yak.
out.
Absolutely. So, folks, it's time for game number 5. And unfortunately, if the pattern continues, that means St. Clair wins.
Yeah, but let's just hope patterns can break today because,
absolutely.
I mean, momentum-wise, if you think momentum-wise.
Hey, Emma said no more losing. And I believe Emma.
And I tell you what.
I believe Emma.
I believe that.
So we just have, it's so close. How many goals have been scored now, Luke?
Well, you see, let me think about this one. So 7 in the first one, and then let me see. 6 in the second, so 7 plus 6 is what again, Kellen?
13.
13, gotcha. 3 in that one, and there was 3 to 2.
Plus 5.
So 6, and then
That's
8, so
18.
21 goals total.
18, 21. Okay, good job.
21, yeah. Shout
job.
out. Look at that math. I'm improving.
You are
Kellen's
improving.
math tutoring, free on stream.
You're welcome. And look at this. The Mountaineers are looking to add to that tally. But no, a nice defensive showing there from St. Clair Academy. And both teams have been playing some outstanding defense. However, I will say, we've seen a lot of overcommits here by St. Clair, and the Mountaineers have capitalized very, very well. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that, St. Clair, if you just want to go ahead and overcommit a couple
St. Clair,
more
you just
times.
want to just give a free one.
You've already done it in the game before.
Whoa,
my goodness gracious. That was a
wrong team.
Flurry of events. And now with the demo onto Yak, oh gosh, it's still that ball was in a bit of a limbo on the Mountaineers side, and Yak dribbling around, taking it slow, taking his time. But Kipper is going to just ruin Yak's peaceful little stroll. And now that ball in the grasp of St. Clair Academy. Ramen lying in wait, and that was a nice center there, but they didn't want to overcommit. Again, just trying to learn from their mistakes. Mountaineers going to get a block there. Looked like a nice shot from St. Clair Academy, but it's not going to go anywhere. And now Kipper, a beautiful goal there. You look at the fake, and the Mountaineers start down 1-0.
This has been the theme every single loss so far.
Neither team has won
Yes.
if they didn't score first.
So definitely looking to break the script here. The defender was there just a little bit, I believe, early on the ball, actually, going right behind. And now, like you said, I mean, every single time we've seen somebody come out on top, it's been because of that first goal, maybe first 2 goals, or first 7, depending on what round you're talking about here. But hopefully the script can be flipped, and the Mountaineers can come out on top here, but a little danger coming in on the side of the WVU Lotus.
And now on the left side is going to be Hira. And yeah, a little bit of a danger zone there for the Mountaineers. That was a very tedious endeavor trying to get that ball out. And now they have a little bit of control. Can he get there before Ramen? No. If perhaps just a little bit more boost, Yak could have gotten there. But unfortunately, no. And now the Mountaineers back on defense. 2 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in what could be the Mountaineers' final game if they are to lose this, but they are not looking for that to happen. A nice block there by Yak, and now, oh gosh, a nice touch there by Ramen. Hira going up in the air, and it looks like they're going to try and get something going on offense, and a nice defense there by Kipper and Ramen. Demo onto Kipper. Spoods takes control. Know that they have to keep control of that ball for just a little bit while they wait for Kipper to come back. And now that ball going up, Emma having to get back, but Yak is there, no problem. And now the reshot, Kipper goes up, and that's 2-0. Mountaineers are down. And now 2 minutes and 15 seconds stand between elimination and the finals. It's not usually something that you hear, but that is the case here for this WVU Lotus roster, and you would hate to see them fall short once again. And now, look at that. Oh, that looked like relatively free. And Yak just goes over it. Yak just goes over it completely. Mountaineers down 3-0.
Tragedy has struck the WVU Lotus team. Yacobi just doing a little hop, skip, and a jump. Not looking good.
2 minutes and 10 seconds. There is plenty of time for them.
Let's get hype. Let's get some faith in this Lotus team. Here we go.
Now, Mountaineers need to start scoring. We've seen them do it before, and it looks like Hira's going to hope to open it up, but no. And now just like that. It's just absolutely baffling to me how one-sided these games have been, just back and forth. You'd think you'd see some consistency somewhere.
Nope.
But just absolutely not. Hira getting the center, and now the Mountaineers needing to commit a little bit, but they don't want to overcommit because then things like that happen. Ramen 4-0, a minute 41. It's not impossible, but it's certainly not easy. And Emma couldn't get the nose on it. And now Mountaineers need 4 goals for OT and 5 goals for a win in just a minute and 38 seconds. And Ramen looking to put another one in the back of the net. Spoods, nice pass. Who has the follow-up? And Kipper, bottom right corner. You have to imagine that this one is nearing over.
Yeah, it's looking like this one's just kind of going into the books at this point. A familiar sting for WVU Lotus here.
Yeah, and this is just absolutely a mirror image of what we saw in game number. Oh, good grief! Don't tell me.
Oh no. It continues. The bleeding continues.
The knife gets twisted and twisted and twisted.
Maybe a second knife in the mixture now. It's getting bad. It's getting bad here. And I mean, at this point, heads are low. It's looking like a game 5 gigabanger. I will say that at least. But elimination in the end, a loss is a loss, especially in playoffs where now it's over. Yes. And with just a minute 17 remaining, it's hard to kind of keep your head up here as much as you would want to. But the Mountaineers perhaps just reminiscing on a season well played, but just once again falling that little bit short as that shot is blocked there. A minute remaining, and it's just so unfortunate. The Mountaineers have been playing beautifully all season, and this game just seemed essentially completely random. It did. We just saw so much back and forth, so much, 7-0, 5-1, 3-2. The Mountaineers able to bring it back, and you thought there was a little bit of hope, and then they won again 3-0. And then now this game looking at least, there you go. Hira just putting a little bit of hope back into the hopium machine, scoring that 1 goal. So at least it won't be a blowout. But 5 goals in 30 seconds is essentially impossible. They would need to hit a kickoff goal every single time and not lose a single second. And that is exactly what just happened there. Mountaineers have played wonderfully all season, and you tip your hat to them for the resilience that they've shown. But unfortunately, that is how it's going to work for when you have so little teams in the playoffs. You lose one, and just like that, you're eliminated. And the Mountaineers are going to end their season on what was an amazing game against St. Clair Academy, as that ball hits the ground, and a heartbreaker there for the Mountaineers. Yeah, an absolute heartbreaker indeed. You have such a wonderful season. You go into playoffs with such high hopes. I mean, you've been winning game after game and in dominating fashions up against a team that you've beat before and pretty handedly. Yeah. And they come out just so strong.
Yeah, you have to imagine they just simply were not ready for that. And once they started off the back foot, they could not get off of it. But again, I'd just like to say the Mountaineers, that Lotus roster, I commend you. You've been wonderful all season, and we're looking forward to seeing your continued success. But nonetheless, we have more Rocket League tonight. In just about 20 minutes here, that main roster is going to be taking on James Madison University in the first round of the NACE Super Conference. That playoff scene, much bigger. A lot more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in probably just around 5 minutes. Oh, sorry. We are going to end the stream. So we're going to end the stream, restart the stream, and we'll see you on the other.